Well, good Thursday morning, and thank you for taking time out of your schedule to join us for, I think, what's going to be a very informative and exciting, and for those of you that are listening, a challenging opportunity to really take a look at your practice and maybe examine it from a different light today. I want to spend some time talking with you about an opportunity to double your income in 2020. Now, this success formula I'm going to be sharing with you today is a scientifically, mathematically proven success formula that is used by some of the top entrepreneurs in the world that are engaged in running some of the most incredibly popular and incredibly rich opportunities to make money in the marketplace. The individuals that use this success formula are highly successful, not only because they follow a formula, but they possess an entrepreneurial mindset. And one of the things I'm challenging producers that we're working with here at Vision Advisors to do this year is to really think through how they are running and operating their business. If we are in the insurance business, the vast majority of us that are selling are self-employed. We're business owners. Now, there's a specific mindset of the self-employed, and there's a specific mindset of a business owner. But one of the things that I have learned in working with some of the coaches that I work with and mentors that I work with is that there's a different mindset between a business owner and an entrepreneur that makes a huge difference between running a semi-successful to successful practice to running a practice that is just absolutely stellar in performance and opportunity. So I want to spend a few minutes talking about developing that entrepreneurial mindset and then sharing with you from that the success strategy that these successful entrepreneurs use to grow their practice. So again, I want to thank you for joining us. I'm John Terry, the Chief Marketing Officer for Vision Advisors. I'm also an Executive Director and a certified coach with the John Maxwell team. I'm a certified member of the Speaking Empire Speaking and Coaching team, and I'm a DISC certified human behavior consultant. So some of the things I want to share comes from the training that I've gotten from organizations and individuals I work with, and I have 5 success coaches that I work with during the year that help me see success, and I want to share some of the insights that I have gained in knowledge from them and working with them over the last several years I think will be beneficial as well. First question I really want to raise is, how do you run your practice? You know, when we look at the way most financial advisors today are running their business model, it falls into one of 3 categories. Number one, you're a technician, meaning you believe nobody can do what you do as well as you can. These tend to be individuals that are solopreneurs. They are operating by themselves, doing their thing. They don't have much, if any, of a staff because they are focused on doing something they believe that they can do better than anyone else. These are specialists that focus on a specific area. Maybe they are a long-term care specialist, or they're an annuity specialist, or they specialize in working with business owners, or they specialize in doing tax-savvy planning. Technicians have a very unique niche that they carve out that they can do better than others around them, and they see success in the present doing what they do better than anyone else. The second group of individuals we see are managers. Maybe they were technicians in the past, maybe they were entrepreneurs in the past, or maybe they are part of a captive or semi-captive model where there is a proven, established process that is followed over and over again. Many of these managerial type businesses go back to the old school debit routes, the old school career companies that continue to do things the way they've always done them in the past. The managerial business owner has to be careful because oftentimes this managerial owner will get the mindset that this is the way it's always been done and nothing is going to change, so why change? And as a result of that, managers can really not see the success that they want to see because they're focused on doing things the way they've always done them, and they're not thinking forward into the present or even more forward into the future. Another place we see managers in the insurance industry and the financial services industry are individuals that maybe have grown their practice over the years, and they're at a point in their life where they're no longer actively seeking to grow their practice. They're just seeking to work annual reviews, client reviews, and just maintain their current book of business, and they're managing that business on the way out. The third type of business owner that we see is the entrepreneur. This is the individual that has gone to the mat to basically have an opportunity to do what is necessary to grow their practice over time. They are not specifically focused on a goal. They are focused on growth opportunities year after year after year to have an opportunity to continue to see success and not just settle with the status quo. This entrepreneur group represents less than 1% of the financial services industry, but this is where opportunity exists for those that are looking to significantly make a difference in the lives of their clients and in their own lives financially in their practice. You know, I love Jim Rohn. He was an amazing man. At the age of 25, he was broke. By the age of 30, practicing the entrepreneurial skills that he has learned and shared with millions, Jim was a millionaire and later on became a multimillionaire and one of the best success coaches of all time. Jim said this. He says, if you work hard on your job, you can make a living. But if you work hard on yourself, you can make a fortune. Now, there's a lot of value in that, and I think it's something that you as a financial professional need to think about and be asking the question, what am I doing to work on myself? We can work in our business all day long and make a great living at it, but we can never improve the quality of our business beyond the quality of thinking that we bring to it. So, big question I want to pose on the front end of this presentation today, and the question I want to pose, are you a business owner or an entrepreneur? Now, some of you on this call may be employees. You may work for an agency, and if you work for an agency, you're trading time for money. You are working for either a percentage of override or you're being paid a salary and some bonus, something to that effect. But the big thing about an employee is willing to trade freedom for the security of knowing that they've got some financial base that they're going to be living off of. And employees, as a rule of thumb, are goal-oriented. They are given a task of so many apps a week or so much premium a week that they have to generate to be able to stay in that model. Now, many of you on this call are entrepreneurs in the sense that you're self-employed. Now, self-employed people also have a mindset of trading time for money, but unlike the employee, they like the idea of freedom. So they're willing to forego the guarantee of a base to focus solely on a commission-based business model, but at the same time, they remain goal-oriented. And as a result of that, they limit their opportunity. On the other hand, when we think about the entrepreneur is growth-oriented. They are constantly focused at and looking at, how do I grow my practice? How do I become more efficient and more effective at what I'm doing? Their focus is not on the activity, but their focus is on improving themselves, improving their processes, and improving results. If they can continually improve, the activity continues to get better and better as a byproduct of that. And these entrepreneurs are really focused on making sure that they bring a different level of thinking to their business. You know, one of my coaches is Christian Simpson. He is an entrepreneurial coach in the UK who is a success coach to the top 1% in the EU. And one of the things that Christian Simpson says that I've really taken to heart, and I actually have this written down and stuck on a Post-it card at my desk, and it says this: life doesn't give you what you want. Life gives you who you are. And Christian really challenges those that are part of his mastermind groups and part of his training to really dig into the quality of their thinking. Why? Because we are all creatures of habit. We operate our business oftentimes by default, doing the same things we've always done month after month, year after year, and we wonder why we're not seeing our business grow and we're not seeing success take us to the level that we really want. You know, last March I had an opportunity to spend about 3 days with Carly Fiorina, and Carly's just published a new book out called Find Your Way. It's an excellent book on leaders challenging the status quo and what it really takes to find your way and to ultimately see success. One of the statements Carly makes is this. She says, the status quo, doing things the way we've always done them, and closing off our mindset to think about new and creative and innovative ways to grow our practice. She says the status quo has great power. And our mind, by default, wants to do things by repetition. Our brain takes up less than 2% of our body mass, but more than 20% of the energy we consume on a daily basis is used in our thinking processes. The brain, by default, unless it's trained to think differently, wants to do things repetitively because it takes less brain power and less energy from our bodies to do that. And as a result of that, we kind of fall into the wisdom of Albert Einstein that says insanity is doing the same thing over and over again, but we expect a different result. So what about your practice? If you were to pause and look at what have you done in 2019 that's different than what you did in 2018, 17, 16, in the year 2000, in the year 1990, if you were in business then, what are you doing differently today to bring about a different outcome for tomorrow? One of the things I want to challenge you to do as you're going into 2020 is begin to reprogram your brain for success. Now, there's a mathematical formula to success, and I'm going to share that with you in just a few moments. But I want to remind you of this. One of the things we know from a number of studies that have been done in looking at the most successful entrepreneurs around the world is this. They develop the owner, not the business. I want you to hear that again. The most successful entrepreneurs around the world are focusing on developing themselves and not their business. They understand that the quality of thinking they bring to their business and the fact that they are thinking about growing themselves and doing things to expand their thinking, to see the opportunities around them that maybe they can't yet see because they're focused on and their mindset has been, this is the way we've always done it. That has to change for you to see success. The other thing we know these entrepreneurs do is they apply proven principles in their business to achieve success. So how do we do that? We have to improve the quality of thinking that you bring to your business. One of the things I want to challenge you to do for 2020, if you want to double your income, is to begin to grow yourself. In fact, Jim Rohn said this, to achieve success in any area of life, you first need to develop yourself first. Think about that. How many of you get up every day and the first thing that you do in the morning is doing something to develop yourself? Maybe it's listening to a podcast. Maybe it's watching a video. Maybe it's reading a book. Maybe it's spending some time in quiet, reflective thinking, just allowing yourself to look within and to begin to let your mind open up to think about the endless possibilities of growing your practice. Many of us don't do that. One of the things I want you to realize is that you are the cause of all of your effects. Every morning when you get up, every step that you take in your business brings about an effect. We have what I like to call choices and consequences. Now, what do I mean by that? As we live our lives and as we run our practice, the choices we make and how we run our practice has a consequence. We choose the choices by which we operate our business and live our life. The consequences that happen in our business and that happen in our lives are a direct result of the choices that we have made. So as you're going into 2020, I want to challenge you to take some time to do some reflective thinking and to really sit down and analyze the choices that you are making in your business, the time that you are allotting to certain priorities, and really sitting down and looking at where are your areas of strength. You know, one of my coaches is John Maxwell, the foremost authority on leadership in the world, and John says that you should be spending 80% of your day focusing on developing and using the top 20% of your strengths. That's one of those key entrepreneurial success principles that we need to be able to do and we need to think about. But that requires that we begin to work on ourselves. Would you think about this? Your business will never outgrow you. Focus on growing yourself, not necessarily hitting a specific goal, and now you open up the doors to endless opportunity. So how do you get better at sales, at marketing, at social media, at communication, at human behavior, at leadership? How do you become better at all of those things? It's through bringing a different level of thinking by learning to grow yourself. So the big question I want to pose as we get ready to dive into these success principles to double your income in 2020, what are you willing to do starting today to become a better version of yourself? What is your personal growth plan? What are you going to do to bring a new level of thinking to your business that is really the secret ingredient to doubling your income and going from success in your business to significance in your business? I have a new book that's coming out at the end of Q4, and it's called Black Belt Leadership 101. And one of the quotes I want to share with you from that book is this: when you bring a higher level of thinking into your business, you bring a higher level of results. Clients want and will pay handsomely for results. That's why improving yourself is the most important thing you can do for your business. This is how entrepreneurs differentiate themselves from their competitors. Entrepreneurs do daily what your competition either does part-time or not at all. Remember the wisdom of Jim Rohn? You work hard on your job, you make a living. You work hard on yourself, you can make a fortune. So how much success do you want in 2020? And what are you willing to do to achieve it? Now, let me give you that entrepreneurial success formula that can help you double your practice. And I want to challenge you to think about how you implement these very simple, effective, and practical goals to be able to achieve what you want to do. Now, these goals will help you move towards a growth mindset that this is something that is repeatable and replicatable year after year to continue to see success in your practice. All right, here's the formula. 30 plus 20 plus 30 equals 100%. And you say, John, 30 plus 20 plus 30, that's only 80. How do I get 100% out of that? Let me share with you this success formula. So if you want to write it down, you're welcome to do so. This is also being recorded, and we'll have this posted to our video library after the event. All right, let's take a look at the first number, 30. Step one, that number is 30. To be able to double your business in 2020, you need to increase your existing customer base by 30%. Now, let me give you an example. Let's assume that you've got 100 clients that you are working with today in your practice. Step one of doubling your income in 2020 is going to be to add 30 new clients in 2020. Now, that's 2.5 new clients a month. Whether you're doing seminars, lunch and learns, direct mail, referral business, however you're growing your practice, you need to stop and do some reflective thinking and put yourself as a short-term measurement on a growth-focused mindset of how do I add an additional 2.5 new clients a month. It may mean that you've got to do 2 extra appointments a week. It might mean you've got to work an extra half day or 1 day a week in your practice. How do you increase your existing customer base by 30% in 2020? Step number 2 is the number 20. To double your business, not only do you have to add 30% more clients, you've got to increase your average case size by 20%. As an example, the average fixed indexed annuity sale in the industry today is just around $125,000. We see that with a lot of the producers that are currently doing business through Vision. So your 2020 goal would be to take your average sale from $125,000 to $150,000. That means doing a little more digging, doing a little more appropriate planning, and identifying opportunities to help your clients see success and increasing your average case size by 20%. Now, step 3 of this process is to increase the number of cases that you've written by 30%. As an example, if you're writing an average of 16 apps a month, your goal is 5 more apps in that month. The number would be for you 21. That would be 1.25 apps per month. What are we essentially saying? Productivity, being more involved and doing just a little bit more each and every day, each and every week, and each and every month gives you an opportunity to double your income in 2020. That's right, having an opportunity to grow your client base by 30%, increasing your average case size by 20%, and increasing the total number of apps that you write on a monthly basis by 30% will give you an opportunity to double your income. The other 20% that you don't see represented there is the thinking that you bring to the business, the developing of yourself through getting involved with a personal growth plan. Learning to grow yourself helps make this possible because limited thinking brings limited results. It's only when you begin to grow yourself that you have the opportunity to realize that limited thinking limits your opportunity. Unlimited thinking creates the opportunity for unlimited results. You know, there are 10,000 baby boomers turning 65 every day between now and the year 2030. According to a study by AIG that just came out, many of these baby boomers are going to be spending up to 40 years of their life in retirement. They are going to need someone that can sit down and help them solve their long-term longevity goals and to make sure that they've got sustainable income, to make sure that they maximize their Social Security opportunity, to address and mitigate the impact of inflation, to make sure that they tackle and address long-term care issues that could wipe their finances out, to make sure they've done a proper planning to create survivor income for that surviving spouse. Wives outlive their husband by an average of 5 to 7 years. There is huge opportunity if you just stop to look and to see what that is. So I want to challenge you to think about how much success do you want to see in 2020 and what are you willing to do to achieve it? Now, that's where we come in. Success begins with a mindset. If you want an opportunity to learn to grow yourself, we'd love an opportunity to help you do that. And we would love to put you into a group of like-minded thinkers that are engaged on a weekly basis in having conversation about growing yourself. At the same time, we want to help you grow your practice by bringing you tools and resources that can help you get in front of more qualified prospects, have an opportunity to increase your average case size, and to write more business. If you've not had an opportunity to look at the toolbox that Vision brings to you as a financial advisor, we've got a number of unique tools that can help you grow, but it starts with growing yourself. So I want to challenge you to do that, and if you'd like to learn more on growing yourself, some suggestions on books or a plan, give me a call, and I'd love to walk you through and talk you through a process, and we can actually set up some opportunities to be mutually accountable to one another in a growth process to grow yourself and begin to stretching your thinking from becoming just a business owner managing and running your practice to an entrepreneur seeing the opportunities before you that have always been there, but maybe you haven't seen them. So I want to wish you great success in 2020, and I want to go back and one more time I want to review that success formula. 30% more clients, 20% increase in your average case size, and a 30% increase in the number of apps you've written gives you the opportunity to double your income in 2020. I'm John Terry with Vision Advisors, and on behalf of our entire team, I want to thank you for joining us. We welcome the opportunity to help you see success, and we look forward to see as you engage and as you implement this success strategy. We do look forward to helping you celebrate your results in the coming year as you have an opportunity to double your income in 2020. I'm John Terry with Vision Advisors. Thanks for joining us. We look forward to hearing from you. Have a great day.